Brigadier General Mamadou Sow, all the senior officers present here, the members of the press, you're all welcome to this occasion for a press brief that was made by the Chief of Defense Staff. And as we go on through the session, immediately after the press brief get home, please, after the end of the brief, if you have any questions, you try to introduce yourself, the media house you represent, and tell us who you are, so that we'll be able to get a well-conducted ceremony, and I guess we could start from this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Use it, stay. All of this is written to the point. So, first of all, before we go ahead, we start with prayer.
And we have two main religion groups here, Christianity and then Muslims. We can pray individually in our own way. Bismillah. Amen. May our prayers be answered. Like I said, there are two main religions which are known worldwide and without doubt and without question, any single iota of question. That is Christianity and Islam. Jesus was mentioned in the Quran, Holy Quran, 25 times. Muhammad, peace be upon him, was mentioned only 2 times. Jesus' mother, Mary, was mentioned in the Quran more than 10 times. Muhammad's mother has never been mentioned in the Holy Quran. Muhammad's name is in the Holy Bible. Jesus' name is in the Holy Quran, and the mother, and Muhammad's father, grandfather, and whatever mentioned in the Bible. There are so many ways to kill a cat. Some with a slap, the cat is gone. I've heard that. Some with a volley. You know when you are playing volley, football, when they pass with the ball up and then scissors. In our province is in Gambia and scissors. But here, when you say scissors, they know that you are from the province. They say here volley, to volley the ball. But in our provinces, when you say volley, you think that in football you call volley. You think that it is this. The fact that you play 6 by 6. So, I'm coming. This is introduction. So, these main two religions are very important, and they are mentioned by Allah himself, not Muhammad or Jesus. There are so many ways to go to heaven. Some will take the shortcut and some will go by the long cut. Like I said, so many ways to kill a cat. Like I said, media is very powerful. Muslims go to church to pray for peace and to pray for good things. Christians go to the mosque to join their Muslim brothers to pray for peace and something good for the community or for the country. But the way some people see, it is the worst. And I'm happy that you, the media people, are here. We all know the situation we are faced with in this country. It's only prayers that can make us pull out of that situation. And people are searching for prayers. Others don't sleep. They pray throughout the night for peace to continue to reign in this country. Whilst our brothers and sisters in diaspora are fanning the flame of crisis of war, their fathers and mothers are here. What are they going to gain? And some of us will not sleep at night because we want peace to continue to reign in this country. We search for prayers everywhere. Good, I mean, not bad prayers. The prayers recognized by God. I went to church this past Sunday. Yes, some of you must have seen me when I was walking out of the church at Westfield Church. Yes, I went to pray for peace between the mark between 10 and 12. And alhamdulillah, when I went there, I met 6 brothers who are Muslims, 2 ladies and 4 men. They also went to join the Christians to pray, to continue to pray for peace, to continue to reign in this country. Hey, it is a crime that I did. Serious going to church. A Muslim serious Usman Baji going to church. And those 4 civilians who are Muslims like me, nobody took their picture. But because what are they going to gain from that? CDS Usman Baji going to church. When Muslims will convert and be Christians, Christians will convert to the Muslims. And we are still living side by side though. There's nowhere you'll go, you don't find a Christian or a Muslim. Nobody will tell you Christians will stop here, Muslims will stop here. We go to Ingentes, christening. When it is Christmas, you think that the whole Gambians are Christians. Tomaski, you think the whole Gambia is Muslim. Me going to church to pray for God, to give us peace and stability is a crime in a church. That aside, we said, all of us, both Muslims and Christians, we should have faith in God, Iman. In Islam, we call it Iman. Praying 5 times a day by Muslims and to have faith are quite different things. These small differences, there is no single Christian who left the source of this country. All those who fled are Muslims. I stand to be corrected. Let somebody name me 2 Christians who fled. If they go out of this country, it's for business. But come and see the trucks. When you ask Muhammad Mustafa Jallo, where are you going? Guinea. What happened? Here they said there's war. You said you believe in predestination before you were born. What is going to kill you will happen no matter what. And how you are going to die will happen. Some will die in the sea. Some will die sick, AIDS, diarrhea. Some will have accidents along the way. Some will be fighting, or some will be shot by individuals. Some will be stabbed by bandits. And God said, I'm not going to kill you. I'll associate your death with something. Wallahi al-Azim. And you said you have that belief as a Muslim and a Christian. I stand to be corrected. Christians are closer to God than we think Muslims are. And I have my proof. Not yesterday or today, I will tell you the proof. Somebody can name me one single Christian country fighting today as we speak. Raise up your hand and name me that Christian country. All the killings and the wars are all from Muslim countries. Those who tie bombs and meet people praying, and they all are Muslims. Days of the IRA are gone, long gone. They shall never come back again. And we said we are closer to God than Christians. It is a lie. They have faith than us, the Muslims. They believe in God. We may be praying, but we don't believe that God is there for us. If we believe, wallahi, we'll join our Christian brother. When they pray in the church, we pray in the mosque. Nobody was going to leave. If you know that the way I'm going to die, nothing can stop it. Accidentally and so sorrowfully, along the way, 8 Guineans died on the spot in Senegal whilst they are fleeing to die. Before that, 3 days preceding that, 4 died again on the spot, car accident, and they are fleeing death. And the ones they left here are still smiling because they have faith in God and they know that the day that they are going to die, whether they are going to be killed by a bullet, Syria is level now to the ground. But there are still people living there. People have been born and others have been bombed to death. But those, God said, you are not going to be killed by a bomb, are still surviving there. Let us have faith in addition to our prayers if we want to be true Muslims. If not, it's just what they call pasivalda. At the beginning, it tastes sweet, it's coated with sugar. Go until that sugar is finished. You think that they've given you poison. Pastivalda. Let us not be Pastivalda Muslims. Nobody can fool God. Prayers and faith is different. So, I will come back to what we are here for. We are here to give you, the journalists, the print and electronic media, to disseminate this information to the nation, those in the Gambia and those outside the Gambia, for them to know that we have been living in peace and we still live in peace and stability. What has happened is not a problem. It was a misunderstanding, political misunderstanding. And alhamdulillah, it is resolved peacefully. And those who fled and think that there was going to be war, we are appealing to them through you to send this message around the world for them to come as quickly as possible. Their security has been assaulted and is still continuing to be assaulted. And we want also to sound the opinion and also our opinion to our neighbors and the ECOWAS in general and African Union in general to know that this problem has been solved amicably like we wanted by political means and not military means. Even if political means fails, we want to tell them that we are soldiers of a difference. We love our people, we love our armed forces, we love our soldiers. In the event that that political issue is not solved politically, we will never engage our soldiers in combat which should have been solved politically. We want you people to send this message to the whole world, especially the ECOWAS and our African Union, that we are very matured. Although we are a small country, we have an armed forces of a difference. This is the message we want you to send across to the world. The more you send it across, the better, because the Gambia belongs to all of us, including me. And not only human beings. The trees that germinate in the Gambia, they have a right to live. All the birds that fly in from Senegal, once they are jetted into the Gambia to feed or whatever, it is you and I, our collective responsibility to protect those birds. So don't think that it's only human beings that own the Gambia. So I'm going to read this short and precise and very clear message to the whole world. And let me begin by giving thanks and praise to Allah for the peaceful resolution of the political impasse that our country was faced with. Never in our nation's history have we been gripped with anxiety and fear that provoked mass exodus of Gambians and the non-Gambians alike. This was precipitated by the aftermath of the presidential elections. Nevertheless, our resolve and determination to settle the political impasse in a more peaceful way, consistent with our deep-rooted culture of tolerance, strong religious belief, and mutual understanding has manifested itself once again. I avail myself of this opportunity to thank all Gambians most profoundly for the high sense of political maturity and patience exercised during the period under review. It should be remembered the armed and security services are the last line of national unity, as was demonstrated during this trial period in our nation's history. Our collective resolve as a vibrant defense instrument charged with the responsibility to preserve the peace and security of our beloved country gained its root from the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. This is a mandate reposed on us by Gambians themselves, you and I and our brothers and sisters. Hence, you must have seen deployments at strategic locations, that is points within the greater Banjul area during this period. The deployments, if I may clarify, as a strategic calculation designed to avoid any potential conflict that emerged between rival political parties and supporters. There is an old adage or an old say which states that prevention is better than cure. And the Wolof will say, lakale balanga, complete it yourself. Baha, kodeko, balanga lakale. This goes to our Fana brothers and sisters. This implies that the armed and security services cannot sit by to allow our beloved country to descend into crisis dimension. If we had a serious failure to our part, which present and future generations of Gambians and non-Gambians alike will always live to remember and will not forgive us for such shortcomings in our line of duty. If we had failed to do so, and even God will never forgive us, because we are paid by you and our poor farmers to protect them and to give them stability, to give them peace, for them to be able to go for their normal businesses. If we have failed that, God is not even going to forgive us. If I may emphasize, the deployments undertaken by the armed and security services before, during, and after the elections period was purely a preventative measure. But others misinterpreted it. Others are saying we are ready to take over this country. Others are saying we are ready to bully the civilians. Others are saying we are trying to threaten the civilians to vote for the ex-president. A lot has been said about it. It is not a hidden thing. It is for sure on the surface. This is contrary to what is being portrayed and or propagated by some media houses, both local and international. Our collective aspiration as a nation is to ensure that peace and security prevails in this beautiful country at all times. Small is beautiful, and I would say it. And we shall remain the beautiful of Africa, the beautiful coast of Africa, the smiling coast of Africa. Never shall we be the weeping coast of Africa. Never shall we be the sad coast of Africa. Forget it. If you envy our name, the smiling coast, please do the best of your ability to make your people smile like we our people do. It is a grounded truth that no amount of money can replace peace and tranquility in any given country, and that is a fact. Equally, it is a known fact that no meaningful development can take place in the absence of peace and security, and that is a hard fact. It should be remembered that peace without security is not sustainable, and security without peace is not durable. Never shall it be durable. Let me conclude by asserting that it takes little reasoning to spark a conflict. Very easy to spark a conflict. However, it takes considerable effort, resources, time to find an amicable solution to any conflict situation. You have seen what just has happened. It's just a fraction of the example of what to start a conflict is. Without conflict, people suffered. Without even conflict, people died on the way, running away from conflict. Talk about when it starts. How many lives are we going to lose? How many infrastructure are we going to destroy for a political indifference, not even a crisis, which was made in the absence of the armed forces, or the two armies, or the two countries' armed forces, which was discussed in the absence of the military. But now they got stuck. They want to use the military to solve it. This country will never solve a political issue militarily, wallahi al-azim. Whether I am the CDS or not, I'm making this point very clear to anybody. We love our people. We don't like our people. We love them, the armed security services. And we are, those days of the Arab and his camel is gone. We are very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. Don't take us for a ride and destroy our small country. When you cannot solve it politically by your own, please refer your case up for those who can solve it for you. Invite people who have wisdom, they can help you out. But if you get stuck, don't be rigid and you don't want to look back or left and right because you think when it is solved for you, you will be looked down or you will be belittled. It's better for you to be belittled than kill people innocently for a problem that you created yourself. The world should be wise enough now. Africa should wake up. In Europe, they have their big crisis politically, and they solve it. If they cannot, they look left and right and invite think tanks, those with wisdom, to help them out. But in Africa, a small thing, they would say, solve it militarily. And what does it mean? Go and kill each other. Go and destroy your countries. But their own, they sit around the table. Of recent, Donald Trump and Clinton. Well, Clinton accused Donald Trump of liaising with Russian hackers to change the figures electronically. And NATO has never told US, we are coming for you. They solve it. And you saw Clinton at the inauguration of Donald Trump. What is wrong with us? People enjoy. They will enjoy looking at Africans killing each other, and they will be laughing. Look at these idiots. And when they come to instigate us to fight against each other, we welcome them. We forget that we have brains. We are remote control up to now. What is happening with Africans? Finally, I implore all Gambians to learn to forgive and forget and embrace the mutual coexistence that has characterized our social, religious, and cultural settings. Equally, I take advantage of this opportunity to assure His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed and Security Services, and also the Minister of Defense, Honorable Adama Barrow, of our unquestionable loyalty and support throughout his tenure of office. When people say CDS is a chameleon, today he's blue, tomorrow he's green, it is not. The country can be ruled by one president at a time. There are no two presidents to one country. Adama Barrow cannot be a president, although he won the election before he was sworn in. It is never. The day that Adama Barrow is sworn in, that is the day he is the president of the republic. But the day he won is president-elect. When he is sworn in, you don't call him any longer president-elect. You call him the third president or the fourth president or the fifth president, depending on the number that he falls in. When you don't know, you ask. When Adama Barrow won, still President Jammeh was the president before on the 19th. And people started saying, hey, CDS said this yesterday, today he said that. We don't know where the armed and security services are because he's the head of the armed forces. But when Adama Barrow, not even sworn in the Gambia, sworn in Senegal, all of you have heard and you have seen. All the armed and security services, and this I will thank the outgoing president, President Jammeh, for showing us the way. We stand by the Constitution, and the president, ex-president Jammeh said, the armed and security services are not defending me either. They are defending the Constitution and defending the red, blue, white, green. The territorial integrity, both internal and external aggression. He said it so many times, and I'm happy that I stand here with my cadre of officers, genuine CEOs, men and women of the armed and security services, that we did not step an inch beyond the Constitution. We are an armed and security services of a difference. We are not looking for money, and we are not looking to be presidents or ministers as such. We are going to end where we are asked to end, by the civil authority. And I thank the outgoing President Jammeh for the 22 years that we have served him 100%. And I also want to welcome on behalf of the Armed and Security Council, His Excellency Adama Barrow, the President of the third President of the Republic of the Gambia, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed and Security Services, and also the Minister of Defense, that we gave Yagame 100%, and we are wholly and solely ready to give him 150% during his tenure in office. He would know that this armed and security service is one in the world. I swear to God, I have the Quran with me. So, once again, we welcome him and we thank him also for knowing that he has an armed and security service. We want to show you that we will give you all the backing that is necessary to make your office very smooth and to make you comfortable as far as the Gambia Armed and Security Council is concerned. I thank you all for your kind attention, and may peace and tranquility continue to prevail in our beloved country, the Gambia. Long live the Gambia, long live the new president, and long live the red, white, blue, white, green. I thank you all for your attention. God bless all of us. All yours, back to you.
Clearly, interpreted clearly, expressed, really representing.
The earlier the better you air this on air, and the multiple times the better, inshallah. Please, we beg you, in the name of national security and national reconciliation.
Most of all, I think I will ask those GRTs, do you have any questions?
No, it's okay. Maybe they are thinking about the question before you would ask. Yes.
Go ahead.
My name is Mohammed Esba from the Korean newspaper. I'm very much glad that CBS, on behalf of the armed and security forces, so their allegiance to the new president.
Oh yes, no doubt.
This is very important and very vital. I just have two questions.
Yes, you know that.
We understood that we were having conflicting reports on the social media and other international media that there were some shootouts that happened, which was a conflicting report from the media. Is that so?
Where did the shootout take place?
Some say around Candilayan.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing is, are you, as the chief of defense staff, assuring the Gambian that all the security fraternity is with you, and then if they are willing to show allegiance to the new coming president?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. That's a question after one after the other. Okay. I'm happy that you asked that question. I'm going to answer from where you stopped. That you had a shooting accident or shooting incident in Kanilai. I also had the same. But when I found out, I was told by more than 3 people that somebody somewhere in the southern, in the part of Casamas, I don't know whether it is from the Casamas or from nowhere, I don't know, because I don't want to tell a lie. Something dropped and exploded and killed 2 cows or whatever, or 2 sheep. I'm not sure. But something dropped and exploded in a compound in Kanilai. Some said the rebels fired. Some said the Senegalese troops miscalculated. They wanted to fire somewhere, and it fell in Kanilai, in one of the compounds. I had also heard that one. But I have not gone there to see. But there was no shooting in Kanilai. But something exploded in the compound in Kanilai, which was believed to have come from somewhere, and killed 2 sheep or 2 cows. That I was told by 3 different people. But there was no shooting in Kanilai. Inshallah. So, what was your last one?
That is,
allegiance. Oh, yes. All the armed and security services. We have 8 arms that constitute the National Security Council. The army is number 1. Anywhere in the world you go, when you talk about security, number 1 is the army. They are the elites. Then the others follow. We have the police, the army, the police, National Intelligence Agency, Immigration Department, Fire and Rescue Services, NDA, that is formerly called Drug Squad, and which one? Prison Services, Gambia Revenue Authority. No, I said 5 somewhere. Though there we are 5, 6, 7, or 8. 8 services that constitute the national security council. All of this, we owe allegiance and unquestionable loyalty to Adama Barrow and the people and the constitution of the republic. Do you understand? Yes. Not will, must. Underline that, must. Any other question?
I guess
yes,
for
please.
purpose of brevity, if a question is been asked, you don't have to repeat that similar question.
Just ask a different question. Yes? Yes?
My name. I am the publisher of Bango online blog. First of all, I want to commend your professionalism before the campaign starts, during the campaign,
and after.
And even after. Okay, so but after the election, we witnessed that some young people putting on Gambia has decided T-shirts were arrested. Okay, and now the number of printing of the T-shirts has increased in the country. So I'm just asking whether an assurance will also be given to the young people
to wear. To exercise their what right? To wear.
Their fundamental right of putting on different color of clothes. Yes.
Okay. You said they were arrested before the elections or during the campaign? Or?
No, it was after the election.
After the election?
Yes.
Oh, during these political indifferences? Okay, fine. Okay, let me answer that one. Thank you very much for that question.
Okay.
You are right.
Yes.
I did not witness it. Is the mic picking up? Oh, okay. It's well like that one. It's the same, this one. So, I was equally told. But you know, when you have a herd of cattle, you see the cattle, the ones they put rope and then a big bell. No, I'm coming. This is the armed forces. We have more than, I will not tell you our strength. If I tell you I'm lying, I don't know our strength. I swear to God. If it IGP doesn't know the strength of the police. But when you have a flock of sheep or a herd of cattle, when you look at the herd of cattle, you see the others with a bell, big bell, and others with a long stick. Those are the bad cows because they don't go with the rest of the cows. When the cows go right, they will go left. And for people to know that they are around this, they put the bell there. When they walk, it makes the sound. Talang, talang, talang. They know that I've done the more fooling. Those with long sticks. Because when you have it between your legs to run, even a human being is difficult. Because they are the ones. Hey, when cows are here, that cow is 10 kilometers ahead. So they put that one to slow it down, to move with the rest. But it's also equally a bad cow. So is human being. In the armed security services, not all are good. I have to be frank. There are others who are criminally minded. When they go out, they think that they are Rambo. They forget about what they do. They go and do things of their own. It is wrong. They should not have done it. And if officer comes across it, they were going to be dealt with. But they do it at the time that no senior officer is around. I'm going to assure all Gambians, if you want, go and buy 10,000 Gambia has decided and put it on. Wallahi alajib, day or night. Nobody will even say, oh, please, I assure you that one. We are not in the campaign period. We are not in any political. We are time to work now. It's time to work. Let nobody start any campaign thing and see what we will do to you. Wait for the campaign time. We are not our neighbors. When they campaign up to the next election, no time to work. This is why our small country, we are developing. When dry boats are mentioned, all women feel uneasy. Wallahi, go and buy 10,000. Gambia has decided. Moya for Ninga Mari Muta. You will know. Yes? Any other question?
Yes. I am Mr. Babukar Sise, correspondent for African News. My question for General Badi is, as you may be aware, when was sworn in Dakar, he did give command that he wants all the military officers to be disarmed on the street and leave immediately and go back to the barracks. I don't know how far have you gone in executing that command as, I mean, a command coming from
the Commander-in-Chief. Okay. Thank you very much for that question. I think you must have misheard him. He did not say disarm. He said, I appeal to the armed and security services, especially the Chief of Defense Staff, to ask the soldiers to go back to the barracks, to go for ex-President Jammeh. I'm going to give 1,010 to Barrow, inshallah. Go and see, they are packing. Yes. Barrow did not say disarm the soldiers.
As I'm speaking, coming from Serekunda,
yes,
I still see sentries on the road where soldiers are still.
Oh, it cannot be automatic. We know the way we pull out. We are not civilians. We do it tactically. You don't know, but I know. When you come to the army, we train you. We'll tell you why. You don't do it like Fokodai. One time it disappeared. We have our strategy. We have our way of pulling back. When we are going to deploy, we have the way that we deploy. It's not automatic. Pop! It is there. We do it tactically. And when we are withdrawing, we withdraw tactically back to barracks. Before tomorrow, you will not see any soldier. And let me warn people, be very vigilant. You are going to be soldiers of your own, policemen on patrol of your own. Because we are going back to barracks, the Commander-in-Chief said so, and we are going to comply, whether you like it or not. And we are happy that we are going back. Be ready to be ready, because the teams will be ready, although the police will do everything possible, because they fled when we are out in the street. When we meet you with a small radio, we'll ask you, give me receipt. If you don't show me receipt, we are going to the station. Those notorious ones, they fled. And now, when they are very happy when they had the Commander-in-Chief saying, soldiers, especially the armed forces, go back to the barracks. See what they will go to do tonight. What they missed for 10 years. But let them take it for a ride. The police are there. The police intervention is there. The armed patrol is still there. The army is still going to patrol to ensure that people sleep peacefully. That rubbish will never be repeated. And let me warn those thieves. When we catch you, before you go to court, you will suffer. You will regret why you are born in this world. Leave people with their property. If you want to get rich, go and toil, go and push wheelbarrows like others will do. And they get rich quickly. But our problem is everybody wants to drive a beautiful big car with necktie when you are getting it from people's sweat. I'm warning the thieves. It will never be business as usual. We will ensure that Barrow's tenure, he enjoys it. He sleeps perfectly well to think about what he's going to do tomorrow. Not to be thinking about how many shops they broke. I'm warning you, the thieves. Going back to barracks doesn't mean that the streets are insecure. We are more aggressive when we go back to the barracks. So be warned. Don't use that as a stepping stone to create your criminal activity or to go back to your criminal activity. If we catch you this time, you will know that Barrow's time as a president is different from a President Barrow. If we have been injecting you 6 injections during President Jammeh's time, this time, Barrow's time, we are going to inject 6 by 6, 12. Another question. I'm serious.
I am by Emil Toure. I'm a freelance journalist. In general, President Barrow has emphasized that this administration has no intention whatsoever to prosecute any member of the armed or security forces. That being the case, will the military high command order for the release of members of the armed forces who were arrested recently?
Oh, thank you. They are already released yesterday. And we gave them 1 week to rest until Monday. They are already released. So he has given orders for them to be released. They are already released. Do you understand?
Next question.
Next question. Call them, they will answer you from their bedroom. Some are drinking as you speak. Marikwadi? Yo. Before you had the question, they already released. I called Colonel Bauer. He'll tell you I'm at the beach, I enjoy it with my wife. Yes, so. The commander-in-chief, first move, release them and they are released. Yes, he cares for the armed and security services. There is no development that can take place without security. Anybody who tells you it is politics first before security, it's a lie. Security is the bedrock of humanity in the world. This is why God said, anybody who dies defending your nation, it is me, God, who is going to pick you up from your grave and take you to heaven. I will not take you by send anybody, Malaika or what. The rest, even if you pray 100 million times a day, when you die, if you will wait for the day of judgment. We will not play with what opportunity we have. We need heaven more than what we have on earth. Wallahi al-Azim. Yes, next question.
Next question.
My name is Tangwendi, and I work for City Limit Radio. We are aware that there are some military officers who also fled to Senegal. And as far as we are concerned, as far as they are concerned, they still see themselves as military officers of the Gambia. What is the fate of those military officers who fled this country and would want to come back now that the situation is okay?
Perfect. I love that question. This is what we call in the army betrayal of your country. You know Judas in the Bible, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus. Judas Iscariot is an understatement. I don't know how to describe these people. They are more than double Judas, I swear to God. They betrayed the country. The trust and confidence portrayed on them by the people of this republic, they betrayed it. They are more than Judas. Very opportunist. We don't consider them to be members of the armed security services any longer. Not all of them. Some were picked like soldiers on the way when they were doing their checkpoint. They were told by those senior officers, jump in, we are going for patrol and come back. Not knowing that they are fleeing. They are very innocent. And I spoke to the Chief of Defense Staff of Senegal to please help me in the name of Allah to bring those innocent soldiers back. The officer, I told him, if left to me alone, take them into the Senegalese army. I don't need them in my armed forces because they cannot stand in front of men. The men they are supposed to command, they fled looking at the Al Jazeera TV. This is why in the army, we don't believe in sitting in the office. Go out and see what is happening. But because they are watching Al Jazeera TV and they are cowards, Shakespeare said, cowards die many times before they are dead. Battle is a field of standing corpse. Those who want to escape will die. Those who want to die will escape. This is what has happened to these senior officers. They are big cowards. You watching on television, you have your deployment beyond Brikama. You cannot call to find out, even if you cannot go there. How is the situation? Have the ECOWAS troops pass you? They cannot. There is no soldier who can fly with wings like you used to see on movies. Because Al Jazeera has said the ECOWAS troops came up to 10 meters before State House and they were asked to halt. All of you read it when you watched at Observer. Up to yesterday evening, they are showing it under. Who told them to halt? And where did they pass to come to 10 meters before State House? And these officers were watching this, said Njai and Jesus Tamba on television, Al Jazeera, to be specific, that the troops, ECOWAS troops have crossed from Brikama. Now they've taken over Farafenni, those who came from Farafenni end, and these ones are coming from Casamas end. They have sweep over Brikama with no resistance. Now they are heading towards one infantry battalion. So Njai looked at the screen and called Jesus. Yes. Hey, did you see what I'm reading? He said, yes, I saw it. Okay, leave your Pajero, jump into a brand new pickup. That was given to the armed and security services. Jesus also did the same. Okay, you see the road at Laban, let us meet there. We take the bypass. You see the checkpoint between Chambuja and Brikama, that PIU checkpoint. This is where they came to and took the Mandina Bar Road, Shiliti. Because they are avoiding this side of the road. Because they think that now, Al Jazeera said, they are now leaving Birkama, heading towards Yundum Barak. So they are taking that flag far left to avoid them to go down. You are a commander, a colonel redneck, who's supposed to tell the boys A, B, C, and D. If you flee and leave those ones, you are leaving them in the mercy of the enemies. Total confusion if there is no command and control in the military. Nobody is going to tell you, go to the right, shift back, fire this way, enemy this way. The whole colonel left and flee. They met some boys doing their job. They shouted at, well, come on, jump in, we are going to find. When they reached at the Madinaba checkpoint, they are colonel. The police there and the police there, they thought that they are on normal patrol. But the way, before they knew, this guy, before they say, hey, the guy accelerated. They know that this is not normal. They pursued them. But before they could realize they are into the other side of the border. And you cannot pursue somebody and get into this territory. They are offending internationally. So they stopped. They went and handed over themselves to private soldiers, a colonel, with your red neck. Television, everybody did it. You see what media can do when there is no single flight that moved even from the border to enter the Gambia. But Al Jazeera is saying to the world, and if you are a Gambian in Germany, you will say, yeah, it is true. If not for this, who have asked the ECOWAS troops to stop, they must have bombarded the state out. Because they took the whole country with no resistance, up to 15 meters to state out. They were asked to stop. See what media can do? This is what made Esa Tamba and this idiot to flee and to leave their men under the mercy of this supposed, in quote, enemy. Who are they going to stand, even if I reinstate them to the army, to tell them, to hold their hands akimbo and talk to them? They are going to insult their mothers and fathers, and nothing will come out of it. Because they are more than a betrayal. They left them to die. They left their men to die like dogs. That is my style. They better stay there and join the Senegalese army. It's better. And the soldiers to come back because they are innocent. Any other question? My own ADC flee. My own ADC. Because they told him that CDS, when there is war, he moves to the front. He's not the CDS who sits in the office to find out from the men in the front line. I take the lead myself. So maybe that one made him so paranoid and so confused that he fled. Yeah.
So those deployments that we did, like the CDS rightly mentioned, it was strictly to preserve what we call a societal cohesion within the country. If we had allowed things to escalate, you and I would not have been here today to discuss or to accept interview from the
Bullets would have been flying.
Let me just emphasize on one thing. It's a conflict. It provokes and unprovokes. What do I mean by that? In his statement, he said it takes little to spark a conflict. But it takes considerable time, effort, and resources to find a peaceful settlement to that crisis. I want to lend my voice to that. And that is true. From my experiences having served in conflict region countries, what happens after that? There is in its trail social, political, and economic disintegration.
Iraq is the point. Iraq.
You know, it creates what we call dispersed animosity between people. And it's a dispersed animosity people cannot easily forget.
No.
So we cannot seek to allow this country to go into this kind of situation. Hence, the deployment that we made the last time. But instructions were given. They pull out the deployment.
Yeah,
and I speak to you, we put in our own deployment. So if we may clarify, because some have a different interpretation. But if you look at it, it was more a psychological deterrent. It was more a psychological deterrent. When people saw the deployment, if you may recall, after the elections, people took to the street to celebrate. That's their inherent right. It's their constitutional right. However, we had some few individuals, they took advantage of that vacuum. They took to the street to rampage. Shops.
Yes. They broke some shops and they got their cars missing.
In our area.
Looting, people started looting.
3 cars are missing around your
At some
area.
stage, remember, constitutional aid to civil authority. That's one of our constitutional obligations. Aid to civil authority. So, do we sit back in the barracks to allow things to unfold the way they were going?
No. And just come out when it is beyond control.
Now, when it is out of proportion, do you want us to come? It is going to be more expensive and time-consuming to refrain the existing status quo. So we said we should come out. Because the first day we thought it was going to stop at the 4 days. But then it protruded into the second day. And then we started receiving complaints. The police were overwhelmed. Because if the police cannot find a solution, constitutionally we have to come in to find a solution. Hence the deployment. I hope that clarifies the issue.
Yes.
First of all, before I start, I'll say Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you.
This one is finished,
General?
Brigadier General Momodu Sow.
Okay.
I just want to align my especially with the issue of responsible journalism. Responsible journalism is true. In as much this is the first time you have started an armed force, have you, I think, to sustain the need of information for the armed forces is necessary to contact in the future. So that's misinformation that we are talking about. So that's an issue of the need. There are two issues. I want us to refer ourselves to the Constitution, especially chapter 13 of the Constitution, which establishes when it functions, part 1, so paragraph 1A, A, B, for the functions of the armed forces. It's clear. The primary functions is to preserve and defend the sovereignty of the nation. 2, he said, aid civil authority. On the request of the civilian government, they will be involved in that aid civil authority. The third aspect is to engage on the request also of the civilian government for productive activities like agriculture, like engineering. These are the 3 functions within the Constitution which the armed forces operate. So this is a reminder. We are subservient to civil authority. And you cannot do things in the absence or approval of the community.
No, of course.
So there are 2 levels. You have the level of the political level and you have the level of the military level, where issues of the military, as he said, must be approved in terms of information. But again, as I said, this is the beginning, and I hope this will be sustained. You will take your number from the PRO so that issues of military that we are concerned of, you clear it out. That's possible journalism. There must be 2 ways. If you have your source, that source must be credible. So I hope this is the beginning and I hope it will succeed.
Okay, before you ask your question.
No, I'm not asking, I'm making a suggestion.
No, okay, before you make a suggestion. I'm happy that this thing is raised. We would like to our new commander-in-chief to have an armed forces hour, armed and security services hour, on GRPS and any of the FM stations that can operate on gratis. So that any issue of national security, you can ask, we make it the lines open. You can ask and we are responded to. I think that will solve some of the issues that one raised here of delaying the information to go to the people. So what we will formally write to the commander-in-chief, I think that will solve it, like other countries do.
So let me just clarify. Issues that relate to civil matters. We do not have that prerogative or the authority to make comment on those issues. But during the political issue, for instance, the political impasse of recent past, some would say, why not the military? Why this? It's not our role.
No.
If I may clarify. Our role basically is to preserve the peace and tranquility of this country.
Security.
And that is, of course, when they're given the mandate to do so. But then, if people start asking us questions regarding the political issues, those are issues that we do not really want to contemplate to give answers to. Because we may be giving the wrong answers. So if I may clarify on those issues.
Yes, could you continue?
Yes, we are hearing.
Okay. My suggestion is that I think it is profoundly important. I don't know whether that unit still exists. When one individual, and it was very effective. Then I used to come here regularly and would seek clarification on issues, and sometimes, in fact, it was Colonel Jata at the time who would, in fact, at times be
Colonel Jata.
Yeah.
Okay,
who would, at the time, be in some instances answering those questions. Sometimes the public relation officer. I think rather than sometimes allowing information to it is best for the whether it's the police, the army, or the NIA. It is best because whether we like it or not, the armed forces doesn't belong to anybody. It's a public institution.
Yeah, it's one of people. Yeah.
Whatever is said about the armed forces, it reflects Gambia. Therefore, it is important that we work collectively as a people to ensuring that we brand the army, so that every person out there, would be, would take ownership of the Gambia armed forces, and it is the army that can help in doing that, because whether you know it or not, the army has a role in decolonizing the minds of the people.
Of course, of course.
And whether you like it or not, people like the way people would malign journalists or say negative about journalists. That's the same way they would do with people of other professions. So collectively, I think whether it's the police, the armed forces used to be very, very effective in divulging information. Very, very effective. To be honest with you, I was a young reporter and I used to come here regularly. This is the very first time I came here. So I think collectively, we are not saying that issues of public security to be divulged. Because anything touching on national security, we can endanger the life of every Gambian. It is our view that that should not be declassified. But anything like sometimes, let's say, a small, somebody's arrested. I mean, even if you don't disclose what he or she is arrested, just confirm it. But once you don't do it, what you do is you allow unconventional journalism to take its course. So we can help each other. In fact, something, if it happens here, if you don't clarify, the wrong is going to be somebody here cannot publish it in Gambia. Somebody where is the armed forces or anywhere would divulge it to the internet. And that does more harm than good. So it is not the armed forces that is staying, it is Gambians that is staying. So collectively, this is something we have to work on.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question and contribution.
This is what we call killing two birds with one stone. The other part of it is the question and the other part of it is contribution. We have still the PRO department, the public relations office department. And I will tell you, we are more effective now than before. Because we have state-of-the-art gadgets than before. And number two, then that you said, Babakandano used to answer most of your questions. Maybe who was manning that post then, maybe was a second lieutenant or a sergeant. I have a colonel who is here. Number two, the press, I'm sorry to say, you like to write big headlines because you want people to buy your paper. No, let's call it spade a spade. I'm coming. I'm going to answer part of your question and I will answer the rest fully. This is why I said, when the commander-in-chief comes and he settles down, we are going to write to him to give us approval to have at least once a week an hour for the armed and security services, where you can ask, after whatever you want to talk about, you can ask, but let it be on security only, exclusively. he will not answer any question that goes beyond that security. Number two, you the press, when somebody is called for questioning, you will put on your headline, serious arrested. Because if you put that serious call for questioning, nobody will be interested to know. But when you put red, block, serious arrested, no, everybody will want to read and know why is he arrested, when, who arrested him, how many of them. Yes, because we want the papers to be sold. Responsive journalism is what we need if you want us to work together. What we tell you, put that in black and white. But not what we tell you, you go and metamorphose it just to get money. Number two, need to know basis. We communicate most of the time through press releases with the approval of the Commander-in-Chief and now President Barrow. Like I said before, we don't open this mouth, we zip it until he gives us the key to open it. That is both army and other security services. We are the only people in the world who are surrounded by two laws, the civil law and the military law or service code of conduct. I cannot take you and try you in the court martial, but you can take me the CDS, try me in the civil court, and you can try me in the court martial. We have a very big load on our heads. This is why the armed security person, any personnel you see, should be the most fearful guy. That is, should fear the law. Because we are surrounded by two laws. The civil law, your own constitution, and the military law. So it needs to know basis. Where an investigation is ongoing, we will not tell you that he is wrong or he is right or he is blue or white. We will tell you, please, the investigation is ongoing. But you will press to know what he did or why he is called for questioning. This is the problem between you and the armed security services. Because you want your papers to be sold. But like good shape, it's a big headline. If I tell you my PRO is called for questioning, you will write it in my presence, PRO called for questioning. But let me see the paper that morning. PRO snapped and arrested. Headline! Because you want your paper to be sold like good shape. It's another big problem between you and us. We want the truth and nothing but the truth. But you want the money and nothing but the money. However, I'm coming. This information bill.
General.
These people are crying for it.
No, General.
Yes.
To be honest with you, we are part of Gambia, whether we like it or not. And the army is from a very... I'm president of the Gambia Press Union.
Yeah, I want to be the father of the Gambia Press Union. We can
Okay, I have an appeal. I just have an appeal to General.
Yes. Let him talk first, please.
I have an appeal, like, I'm appealing serious.
To sell the greetings card?
No. What I have to say is serious. Please create that platform for journalists to execute their duties. Especially this when it comes to national functions. Myself, I've been encountering certain things like going to national functions, and then the army will stop you and then start asking you who are you. And then such things and stuff. While you provided your media card and stuff. So I think we have to create the platforms for journalists to execute their duties, because if you don't give that platform, then it will bring misinformation and hostile environment.
Okay, now, thank you for that question. We are here to enlighten each other. The state guard, like let's say the presidential guard, like when President Barrow takes over and he comes to the state house, we have what we call close protection group. This is the inner core, who are very close to the president. Even myself, if I want to go to sir, Sir, I will stop. They have their different rules. They have their different responsibilities. Don't go close to a president, even if you have a green card that the president gives to you. They will stop you. What has even if the president, you have seen the ex-president, the Agame. What has sometimes you use this word to why? Yes, they are doing their job. It is not easy to be a president, and it is not easy to go close to a president, even if you are the father of the obedience. But number one thing that Barrow will face is privacy. Press cards. I'm coming. Press cards. Universal press cards and not different press cards. Please, you, the father of the press union, create the mother of the press union so that you have the father and the mother. Get the card for your press officer. The same sign and stamp with the same stamp and signature. Not to be signed like Barack Obama, the other one is signed by Trump. Let it be the same and see whether the hustle and tussle that you have with the security, especially close protection of the president, will happen again.
Okay.
General,
this is why I think this is why it is. There are instances where we would have functions to invite members of the armed and security forces, and there were instances, you have the police, the immigration, the NIA, who will come, because I think what is important is for you to understand our job and for you to for us also to understand your job. What is profoundly important to point out is those of us here represent different news organizations, and you are accredited by your news organization. This is what happens internationally. I've covered functions internationally, and when you go to international functions, you see somebody with Al Jazeera, just observe. You see somebody with Al Jazeera, somebody with CNN, somebody. So this is what happens internationally, and this is why it is important that you have individuals who understand media issues. I met him before. He wouldn't recognize me. But I recognize him. We met at Tango. He's a very brilliant guy. I have no problem with him. But what I'm saying is, we create a synergy that will allow us to work, so that we understand the way we do our things, we understand the way you do our things. But otherwise, at the end of the day, somebody will stand there, they'll say, okay, did you get, even at a meeting where the president, a public meeting, journalists were arrested for simply coming to a public meeting where you have individuals, everybody, people from all walks of life, covering those functions. So, or attending those functions. So, the fact is, it's a public function. A public function, I would have expected, okay, like you said earlier, but this is why I say people need to understand the role of the press. I would have expected that those members of the armed forces would have been very much interested in ensuring that peace, and tranquility prevails at that place, but not to go and arrest somebody for taking down goods. So it doesn't tell well of the armed forces. Of course. If they only do things that are wrong, it doesn't do things that are wrong, and somebody asks them, they will tell you that sometimes they think I'm anti-press. When they do things that are out, then that I criticize them. So what is important is also how do we sensitize each other to make sure that we understand each other's functions.
Thank you. Let me tell you, to be quite honest between me and God, you and the press are responsible for this trouble in the Gambia today. People flee. It is you, the press, who are the cause of it. I have the Quran with me. It is you who caused people to run away. It is you who said ECOWAS have entered. It is you who said Senegalese troops have crossed. And I have the Quran with me. Hold it, and if you are a good Muslim, Yafoko Press Market, it is here. The trouble, the suffering is caused by you because of misinformation. Who among you can hold this Quran and you vow that this press is not responsible for the havoc that has happened to our country as we speak? It is here, all of you. Most of you are Muslims, except 3 or 4 Christians. What you have said, and I stand to be corrected, you have attended many, but I think I traveled more than you. I was the ADC for 5 years to President Dame. I was PPO for 8 years for President Dame. There is no way I have 8 diplomatic passport filled with different stamps. I traveled the world more than you. He was working for UN for nearly 10 years in New York. He was a deputy ambassador in New York, my deputy. It is from there that he's appointed as deputy chief of defense staff. He was working for the army before he was deployed to New York. The press, what you have said is wrong. When you have accredited Al Jazeera or whatever, BBC, when you turn at the back, it is world universal, the same, with the same stamp and signature. What you are telling me is unfounded. I know you are from different media houses. You are from GRTS, you are from FM1B. That will show on the card, but at the back, Gambia Press Union Accreditation Card, 2015 to 2016. When it is expired, you go and renew. The same signature, the same, what is what I'm talking about. You don't know the press job more than me. No, I'm coming. Let me finish with him. Let me finish with my father of the press. The trouble in this world today, it is you, the media, who have caused. You are the one who caused Esa, Itamba, and yes, Al Jazeera now. Up to yesterday evening, before we received the heads of state who came to visit President Gambia, I was at the media field house and I was telling my other Islamic people, look, this has the thing that makes the state to run. And the Manicos will tell you, and it is true. Why do we have the dollar so names in Yomi? I'm sorry, I will tell you today. And it is a fact. I don't want to go back to history. When their votes are mentioned, all women feel uneasy. I have never seen a Bandinka so name or a Fula so name. Call it. I've never seen a Fula so name Jima. I've never seen a Fula so name Sanyang. Go to Yomi, it is all there. And they said in those days by the Marabus, if you are running away from war, if you cross 7 rivers or 7 streams or whatever 7 water line, you are safe forever. This is why in Yomi you have different types of dollars on it and they call themselves America. Because history, generation after generation, you come and then you cannot speak your language anymore. The dominant language is what you speak. This is why most of you, Manjabos born in Congo here, you only speak Wolof, English and so on. You cannot speak Manjabo. My sons cannot speak Gola because their mother and I speak Wolof to them and they are Badio. This is why you have the all types of dollars with them. They are originally dollars. Let me tell you. Marino, throw something to this father of the press.
No, let me just take this
clarification. What? I'm coming.
If there's an event in international or local dimensions, usually they give you a press card. And the press card basically denotes your name and the press institution that you represent. Even at the UN, that's what obtains there. Aside this, if there's a function in the Gambia, to be more precise, usually once you identify or you submit your names as potential individuals to cover that event, you'll be given a press card. If you have those press card reviews visibly displayed, you should have access to the function area. But if you don't have that, or you want to use what we said, something inherent to your institutions in a public function or official functions, it's something they will not accept. Let me give you an instance. Even at the UN, even you serve in Al Jazeera or BBC, first thing you do is accreditation. In other words, you go there to say, we will be covering this event. And it's done online. Once you do all the necessary imputations, then once you get there, you print the form, they will issue with what they call the press card to allow you unfettered access through the process. But until you have that, you cannot be allowed in. And let's make clarifications. Every now and then you will label the armed forces, armed forces.
Not everybody who stands there is a member of the armed forces. You have the protocol department as well. Right? And you go there, you must have a proof of evidence to denote that you belong to one of these institutions. Unless you do that, you will not be allowed in. And this is what obtains everywhere in the world, not only Gambia. So it is not the armed forces to be blamed. Rather, you did not do, or you did not exhaust the procedure. If you exhaust the procedure, you have access. I think that answers some of your...
The media houses, whether it's electronic or otherwise, are invited. And you accept yourself. And once you are not there, what happens, especially pertains to Gambia, most of the time I'm a journalist. I represent the limits. I want to access. It's a problem. That's the issue. Because those people, the armed forces, we have different branches, as the security officers have said. There are people who are responsible for the inner calling of the president's security. It's not the armed forces. So if you come in and say want to go, they'll say no, you don't have a card. And again, there's the ministry of there's a ministry or ministry of ministry of I don't know which ministry. Information who are responsible for this. There's a protocol officer who's responsible. And during those meetings, you exchange code contacts. Okay? So that it's easy. If at all that's a problem, you can able to go and decide you'll be at the ceremony. I'm sorry, I've been denied. Is it possible? It will be solved. Gambia is too small. So I don't think the issue of saying that the armed forces are not providing goods, I don't think so. I worked in the ECOWAS house in Abuja. ECOWAS meetings, you have to do what we do presentation. And they invite you. If you're not there, you don't attend the meetings. It's a fact. So the international aspect we are talking about, there are people here who are international, who are also worked in international institutions. So we know what obtains there. Sir. So this is no, let me stop. What's the name again? Let me just make clarification. We do not have that luxury of time to discuss these issues. We do not have the luxury, but let me just finish this. We do not have the luxury to discuss these kind of issues. But if these are private issues that you would like to discuss, please find time, meet him, and discuss that with him. And the subject of disclosure, let's exhaust that, and then you can go ahead with your normal business. Yes, please, what is your question?
My name is Kelly Chan from Federal Radio. As far as you guys made a clarification about the troops entering inside the Gambia, that was on Thursday. And again, there is this rumor circulating around the social media that the jet fighter who, like 20 minutes before the swearing of the president, Mr. Barrow, the jet fighter was the same troop who came here in the Gambia. So I want you guys to make the clarifications whether it's the same troop or it's the jet fighter is part of the Gambia Armed Forces.
No, let me just make this point clear. There is no single foreign troop in the Gambia. For now, there is no single foreign troop in the Gambia. Let me make that point clear. So I think I want to stop there.
That was very clear.
Any further questions?
Yeah.
We need to hurry up because we need to close.
Yeah, I just want to have one question. I just want to know, like, President Barrow is not in the country and is expected to be here. I want to know what is the plan from the armed forces to provide security for Barrow's coming? I know the crowd is too much and the police may not be able to control the crowd that is coming in the country. Do you have any plan when it comes to securing the president and also the people who are going to welcome the community?
Well, if I may preempt, once we get all those information, I'm sure there's going to be first contacts.
Okay.
Yeah, there could be probably coordination. Yeah, because remember when we talk of providing security, it is not only exclusively the domain of the armed forces, it's a collective endeavor. So I'm sure there could be a team that will sit with us and we look at it holistically and see where we can chip in as an armed forces to provide those necessary security. Because I believe it's a concerted effort, not an individual effort. But like the CDS rightly mentioned, he's the commander-in-chief. And he should be assured of one thing, our absolute loyalty.
and commitment.
I have one more question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we have the...
I just want to make a comment just to conclude everything. The CDS is unfortunately not here at the moment, and but the president of the GPO is here.
Hello.
And the senior military officers are here. I think something has been discussed here which is very, very paramount, which we actually have to resolve as a nation. That is some sort of, perceptions between the security forces and the journalists. Actually, I think these occasions should be taken as an advantage to meet two very important bodies, for the development of this country. And we can have talks, for example, a seminar, where the GPU will come with materials and rules, regulations, and principles of journalism before, the military, whilst the military will also in exchange familiarize us with what are the regulations, being international and...
immediately after this.
I think that is a very important thing, so that we can build a bridge and move forward.
Let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
So from all what I can deduce from all your statements, the problems you had in the past is exclusively against or towards the military, is that correct?
No.
No, because you see, because it was not a generic statement.